The old house stood at the end of the street like a forgotten relic of the past, its windows boarded up and its once vibrant paint faded to a sickly gray. Its presence cast a sense of foreboding over the entire neighborhood, an eerie reminder of the stories that had circulated for generations. Curiosity had always been my weakness, and the allure of the old house was no exception. It was said that disturbing and unexplainable events had occurred within its walls, giving rise to the tales that now haunted the town. Late one evening, I found myself drawn to its decaying doorstep, driven by a mixture of fascination and apprehension.
As I stepped through the threshold, an oppressive stillness settled over me. Dust motes danced in the dim light that filtered through the boarded windows. The air was heavy with the weight of secrets, and an inexplicable chill ran down my spine. Ignoring the instinct to turn back, I ventured further into the depths of the house. The first room I entered was filled with an unsettling collection of old photographs. The eyes of the people in the pictures seemed to follow me as I moved through the room, their expressions a mixture of sorrow and something far more sinister. But what truly captured my attention was a single image that seemed out of place, an old portrait of a woman with hauntingly empty eyes.
As I stared at the photograph, a whisper seemed to float through the air, soft and indistinct. I turned, expecting to see someone behind me, but the room was empty. The whisper persisted, growing louder and more insistent, its words impossible to decipher. Panic clawed at my chest as I stumbled back and fled the room, the echo of that ghostly voice lingering in my ears. In the hallway, a door stood ajar, and a faint light spilled from within. Intrigued and unable to resist, I pushed it open, revealing a room that was unlike any other in the house. The walls were adorned with symbols and strange markings, their meanings lost to time. In the center of the room stood an ornate mirror, its surface reflecting the room back at me, but there was something off about the reflection.
The house seemed to close in around me, its walls pulsating with a malevolent energy that seemed to feed off my fear. As I fled through the maze-like corridors, I found myself in a room that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly light. In the center of the room stood a figure, its form shifting and indistinct. It turned toward me, and I felt a wave of terror wash over me, the woman from the photograph. Her eyes were vacant, her presence both haunting and compelling.
She beckoned me closer, her fingers crooked and skeletal. I should have run, should have fled the house and never looked back. But something inexplicable drew me to her, a force that I couldn't resist. As I stepped closer, the room seemed to dissolve around me, replaced by a swirling void that enveloped my senses. In that moment, I felt as though I was teetering on the precipice of madness. The whispers that had plagued the house grew louder, a cacophony of voices that spoke in languages I couldn't understand. The woman's voice joined the chorus, her words a seductive promise of knowledge and power beyond imagination. And then, in a heartbeat, the void spat me back into the old house. The room was empty, the woman gone. The house seemed to breathe a sigh of relief, its malevolent energy dissipating as though it had never been. I stumbled out of the house, my heart racing and my mind in turmoil.
As I stood on the doorstep looking back at the decaying facade, I realized the truth. The stories were real. The house held secrets beyond comprehension, an ancient and malevolent force that hungered for souls. I had ventured into the abyss and returned, forever changed by the horrors that lay hidden within its walls. The disturbing true horror stories had come to life, and I was left to grapple with the knowledge that some things are better left undiscovered. The old house would forever stand as a testament to the darkness that can lurk just beyond our reality, a chilling reminder that the unknown can be far more terrifying than we could ever imagine.
That is the end of my story. Thanks for watching. Do remember to subscribe, like, and leave comments.